who are coming in, and also the OEMs, the customers. So there are many opportunities, and you are on the right way on this. You have an excellent, in the future, now an excellent network, mobile network. I've learned a few months before, it's not so easy to have a voice call when you are driving. In this area, partly it was really a hard cut. It will be better and better, and it's also important for the enterprise customer, the OEMs that want to step in, because now we have more countrywide coverage for 4G, and we are talking about 4G, 5G. It's coming, no discussion. You have experience in price-sensitive markets. It's important because you know how to decrease the bill of material, how to make it happen, how to make it scale. So I believe this experience you also can export the next years. It's good to have this. You have a funding, clear. You have a growing startup community also. You're thinking much more agile. People are willing to do things much faster. They're really thinking, let's go. Execution, test it, start a proof of concept. I've seen so many really brilliant ideas people are doing. And you have creative people. I was impressed. When the people are coming to me and want to see, oh, what you are doing, what we are doing, please, let's talk about, I need a mentor, let's go ahead. I haven't seen this in Germany, I haven't seen this in Europe, to be honest. And this is the future. This is the things you are investing today for the people, for your country, for the future. Brilliant. So, and last point is the IoT DNA, or let's talk about analytics DNA. My feeling is you like it. You like technology to test, to do things, and that's the reason why I also believe you are not against. You are so positive to the new technology. You want to test it to whatever, you're doing it. And if I compare this with some other regions, you will win the game. I'm absolute sure on this. So there are some risks. The risk for me is the Indians partly are thinking a little bit, I'm doing this, he's doing this, he's doing this, a little bit more in silos. I believe for the future, this is my proposal, as I've explained for smart cities. Less silos, more in horizontal. You need scale. Whatever you are doing, you need scale, scale, scale. Because you are in a price-sensitive market, and the world market will be also price-sensitive. Less silos, more horizontal layer. It's a must. Cybersecurity is all the time an issue. Here is a little bit, my feeling, they're not thinking too much about it, but we have to think much more, because if you're talking about the enterprise sector, the people are more your data. It's also a must. I believe here we should push it a little bit more. So for me, the reason why I like this slide is a unique chance for India to lead this global market. The key takeaways for me, on the one side, you see the market. It's a huge market, the 20,000 devices, a huge market, the developers, an unlimited application, all these things you can do. On the execution, I believe I've explained most of the parts before. You can see it here. Focus, do not all in one. Push your innovation, and the big tanker in the innovation, bring people together so that you really create new services on top. I believe these are the main points on this. I have one last question. Think about it. And then I've finished, because I believe next part will be the lunch. I don't know, there will be one speaker more. The Internet of Things will be the world's biggest robot. If this is true, and I believe it's true, who will be in the driver's seat? I believe about this we have to think. Security elements, who's handling all this data. I like this joke a little bit because it shows a little bit, so who's handling all this data? I believe this is a point, this is my last slide, we all have to think about data privacy, full in line, yeah. 33 slides and 30 minutes, brilliant. So, okay, thank you very much. And now I'm open for questions. all all are hungry.
Yes, we all are hungry. I'm not denying that fact. But your session was excellent in terms of the content you had. And the worry, even I had the same. How can we, integrate startups like the IoT with the main business, and how can you provide a security to your data and the privacy associated with the content? So, like, if you thought some light on that particular point, I'm glad.
From the integration aspect, we are planning a lot on the Reliance side for the next 12 months. I believe it's much more, never try to integrate the startup in principle full into a company like us or anybody else. Let them a little bit more independent. It's much more the way things, I leave partners on one side, I call them the garage companies, the startups. They have cool ideas. They're going ahead up to the proof of concept, but they have no cash and no channel. It's simple. It is. It's life. But the other one has it, and I believe you have to combine it, but never, and this is coming back to the big tanker, never try to, this is a brand of us or so. It's much more powered by, or Intel powered by. This is the only way it's going at. Of course, we have to be much more agile. It's coming to the startups and the big tanker. The idea is much more use it like an app store. Why is the principles of Apple is working? They are offering an enabler platform, and the apps will be developed by thousands and millions of developers. And for the IoT space and all these cool ideas, we have to think in the same way. The tools could be offered by us or by the platform, but never try to combine it so that's us and we are selling it. And that's the only way how it works. And really, trust me, talk on the same level. Never, I'm the boss and this is the supplier, then it's done, then you are lost. Was also my experience in the Middle East and in Indonesia and in Deutsche Telekom. If you're starting to grab them, then the speed will be low. They have lost.
And the integration of the infrastructure is a big issue when you try to, because the startup will able to help you with the data is available to them.
Yeah. I believe data, if you're talking about the data analytics, the umbrella word for me is trust, the headline. You have to create something like a trust. And for this is, for example, coming back to the tanker, a huge advantage. You have regulator issues here, a clear statement, the data never is allowed to leave the country, it's here. But everybody is willing to invest in this country, it's a huge country. So I believe it's a huge advantage. I've done this in Qatar. Qatar has 2 million people, and nobody's investing in all this equipment in a small country. That means the cloud is wherever in the world, but it's not allowed. Here, everybody has no problem to invest a local cloud. So this is a huge advantage. But again, you have to think, if you're talking about security, coming back to the OSI layer model, you have to think really from the beginning. Start with the connectivity layer. Not each layer, and then measure the performance of the different layers. So performance in real time is a combination which has to work.
Yeah. Hase, so what is the next gen business model for IoT?
Sorry?
Next gen business model for IoT?
That's a good question. In principle, it's swap from CapEx to OpEx. For me, the principle, forget CapEx. Nobody is willing to invest in CapEx. It's a pure pay as you use. This is a must for whatever you are doing. And the point is, most of the time, who is paying upfront? If you have 10,000 cars, you want to connect 10,000 cars, first of all, you have to invest in a little bit. You need connectivity and a few things, hardware, pure hardware, onboard units or whatever. And for this one, coming back to the tanker and the smaller company, you need an investor, a company who's willing to invest and swap the CapEx model into an OpEx model. And I believe this is the way to go ahead. The second one is, if you're talking about the analytics, all these points around this, you have to think how the private data information, if you want to make it public, it has to be neutral, a crowd information. Here, I believe you also have to think about which data we can use for everybody. like in smart cities. There are partly information I've seen in the US market, which is not allowed to share. Other information are allowed. One example, last example, 30 seconds. We have done this in Los Angeles for earthquake. Because they have all the sensors and they want to measure it. That's not enough. They want to get, the government wants to get more information what's happened if an earthquake is coming. So they have asked the students, so can I use one of your sensor of your mobile network to get the information? They told them, never. Why you want to? Never, never, not allowed. So then I've told them, if I get the access to this one sensor, you will get the information 5 minutes before. And then they've done it. They need something. Not only I need all your data, you have to deliver something, an advantage, and return on investment in any form. That's a must. So, again.
Thank you so much, Juergen. Let's give him a round of applause for that. Thank you. And if you have any more questions, please meet Juergen offline and you can have your questions clarified. All our speakers are more than happy when you approach them with questions. That's what we want you to do. Thank you so much once again. So up next is building extended analytics teams and engagement models. We have with us today Srinivas, Vice President and Head Business Solutions and Analytics at Brilio. In his role, he's responsible for conceptualizing and developing innovative analytics services and solutions, go-to-market, customer management, and delivery. Srinivas has over 20 years of global experience providing business consulting, technology, data and analytics services and solutions across industry, domains, and geographies. Let's put our hands together and welcome Srini on the dais.